Farmers in Gombe State gathered fruits of 2014 farming labor and an alleged racial murder involving two gay friends at a hotel in Gariki, Abuja. Details of this and more on Panorama. We thank you for joining us. I am Ronke Kolawole. Welcome once again. President Goodluck Jonathan says the nation will continue to appreciate the efforts of the gallant officers who lost their lives for Nigeria to remain one. He stated this at the launch of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem in Abuja. President Jonathan also paid tribute to those who died fighting the insurgents, saying Nigeria will continue to appreciate their sacrifice to keep the nation one.
To all Nigerians to donate generously in support of the Nigerian Legion. One of the ways we can best appreciate the sacrifices of our fallen heroes and veterans is by standing with legionnaires in the task of welfare promotion and support for members and the work they do for our nation.
The president later donated 13 million naira and 13 cars to the launch. Report reaching our news desk on the People's Democratic Party senatorial primaries indicates that in Abia State, Governor Theodore Orji has emerged winner with 221 out of 222 votes ahead of the 2015 election. From Enugu comes a report that the former PDP national chairman, Dr. Nwodo, won the Enugu North Senatorial Zone, promising an all-inclusive development of the senatorial district. Also from Edo Central comes the report that Clifford Ochia defeated Senator Odion Ugbesia by 141 to 62 votes. Governor Jonah Jang of Plateau State also picked the PDP's ticket for the Plateau North seat. Former Director General NTA Ben-Mary Bruce won in Bayelsa East PDP Senatorial District. From Cross River State comes a report of the House of Representatives primaries. For Bekwara Obudu Obanliko, Ligo Idagbo is elected, while Jarigbe Agum is elected for Ogoja Iyala. Ikom Iboki has Chris Agibe elected, just as Mike Etaba is elected for Obubra Etum. Basi Ekwewa emerged for Abiyakur. Biase Akangba was won by Daniel Asukwo, while Calabar Municipality had Eta Mobra. For Calabar South, SN Aje is elected for the House of Representatives ticket of the PDP. Incumbent Senator Philip Aduda emerged winner of the FCT senatorial seat, while Danladi Zin and Sefana Gisalo emerged winners for the House of Representatives. Gabriel Suswan emerged winner of the Benue Northeast senatorial zone, just as John Eho beat Senate leader Victor Ndoma Egba to clinch the Cross River Central. Similarly, Senator Eyinaya Baribe wins Abia South Senatorial Zone primaries to beat Prince Will Oje after 4 others withdraw. In Ondo State, however, parallel elections were held sequel to the emergence of 2 state executive councils of the party, which emerged from Abuja and Igbotako respectively. For Akure North South Federal Constituency emerged Daria Aliyu from one faction, while Adedayo Omolafe emerged from another faction. Meanwhile, the Adama State People's Democratic Party's primaries for the House of Representatives has been concluded at the Eagles Square in Abuja. Chairman of the Electoral Committee, Kabir Ahmadi, described it as successful. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
The People's Democratic Party PDP primaries for Adamawa State is now on at the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
Very thankful to my God Almighty.
The delegates who participated in the exercise under the watchful eyes of security personnel describe it as peaceful.
It is fair, it is transparent, it is open for everyone to see.
I'm proud of this party, I'm proud of this process, and I'm happy that the NWC did this election in Eagle Square.
Chairman of the Adamawa State Electoral Committee is optimistic that the primaries will continue to be transparent.
The delegates are orderly, the contestants are disciplined, and the officials are so upright.
Let us come together, join hands, and move the party forward. We are approaching general election. Everybody matters.
The gubernatorial primaries for Adamawa State is also expected to hold at the Eagle Square on Monday. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
Another faction of PDP in Adamawa State, led by Joel Madaki, says the election held in Abuja is contrary to the provision of the party's constitution and guidelines for conducting elections. Adebola Brucelin Sunday has that report.
The leader of the group, Joel Madaki, made this known in a press conference in Abuja, reacting to the news on the party's primaries held in Abuja. Joel Madaki says eligible delegates from Adamawa State were left in Yola.
All the delegates are at home. I want to tell them to remain calm, that what is going on in Eagle Square is nothing but some people try to play with the minds of Adamawa people.
6 of the 7 governorship aspirants were present at the press conference, including the governor of the state, Bala Ingilari.
Aspirants for the elections, we're waiting for the elections. So we entered the race with clear-cut guidelines, and all of a sudden things seem to be going wrong.
Adamawa is the right place where the election is supposed to take place. Anything rather than that is invalid.
Chief Joel Madaki noted that primaries will be held in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, on the 8th of December 2014. In Abuja, Adebola Brucelin Sunday, NTA News.
Away from politics now, Aboki community in Kogi State and Fulani herdsmen have resolved to embrace peace and bury the hatchet after a violent clash that led to loss of lives and property. This followed a peace initiative brokered by the local government authorities. Correspondent Charles Alpha reports.
A communal clash NTA News gathered was as a result of an armed robbery attack allegedly carried out by the Fulani herdsmen. A reprisal attack resulted in the loss of lives and property of the two parties involved in the dispute.
The level of destruction here is colossal.
A reprisal attack don't always pay. It doesn't pay at all, because at the end of the day, everybody will be a suspect, which is not good, and every party will lose.
The current peace move by the state, local government and other relevant stakeholders at resolving the problem was applauded by both parties with a promise to shield their swords.
They agreed that there will be no more attack, provided that the villagers will not attack any Fulani member again.
Both the two parties, the Fulanis and the indigenous community, they are all suing for the peace.
Meanwhile, security has been stepped up to forestall further breakdown of law and order. From Abugi, Kogi State, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Following the recent security challenges and incessant communal crisis in Nasarawa State, the National Orientation Agency has organized a one-day interactive forum to educate people on the need for peaceful coexistence and security consciousness among the citizenry. Correspondent Iliyasu Ali Yakubu was at the workshop and now reports.
According to the NOA Director General, Mr. Michael Mary, who was represented by Mrs. Ngozi Ikioda, the only way to sustain the current transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan is by giving peace a chance, as well as assisting security operatives to tackle insurgency in Nigeria.
When brothers and sisters turn against one another, hardly any development progress can be achieved. It should be noted that the series of security awareness sensitization programs being carried out by the agency at this time is aimed at significantly improving the immediate and long-term security of our population.
In their separate remarks, the Chumada, Mr. Samson Gamuyari, and NOA Nasarawa State Director, Mr. Elisha Iyakwari, charged the participants to take the message of security consciousness to the grassroots, as security is everybody's business.
We emulated the federal government system by introducing an information intelligence center.
Is to provide an avenue where we can fully discuss the way forward for peaceful coexistence and security alertness.
Board guest speakers, Mr. Jonathan Tani of College of Education Akwanga, who spoke on peaceful coexistence, a panacea for socio-economic and political development, and the Commissioner of Police, Nasarawa State, Mr. Usman Yakubu, who was represented by the head of anti-bomb squad, Kenneth Bardi, charged Nigerians to be their brother's keepers, imbibe the community policing strategy as a result of combating crime in the society. From Akwanga, I am Ilyas Aliakubu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government has presented relief materials to victims of the recent communal crisis in Nasarawa State. Correspondent Tessie Omeri reports that the relief materials were presented to internally displaced persons in Lafia and Obi local government areas by the National Commission for Refugees. The report.
The delegation led by the Federal Commissioner, National Refugees Commission Hajia Hadiza Sani Kangiwa, handed over the relief materials to the Emir of Lafia Alhaji Isa Mustafa Agwe I and the Sangarin Shabu Alhaji Muhammad Umar Bwala II. She said the commission will, in addition to the donation of relief materials, train the internally displaced persons in various vocational skills so as to enable them start a new life.
We hope in the nearest future to come and see within the limits of our funds to see how we could provide accommodation.
The Emir of Lafia Alhaji Isa Mustafa Agwe I and the Sangarin Shabu Alhaji Muhammad Umar Bwala II appreciated the federal government for coming to their aid. In Lafia, Tessie Omeri, NTA News.
You're watching Panorama on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We now like to go on break. More reports when we come back.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thanks for being there. The 2014 farming season is come and gone, but those who used the period to cultivate crops are now gathering the fruits of their labor. Correspondent Emmanuel Akila reports on this year's harvest from Gombe State.
The
availability of arable land in Gombe State provides employment to over 70% of the population in agriculture. This year, even with the prediction by experts of shortage of rainfall, farmers were committed to doing what they know best, and the result is bountiful harvest. One way of measuring bumper harvest or otherwise is the quantum of assorted grains that flood the Gombe Grains Market, which has been in existence for over a century.
The Gombe Grains Market is at its peak as it is harvest season, and it attracts buyers not only from the southern part of the country but beyond the boundaries of the country, Nigeria.
It's over 15 years ago I started coming to this far north. I've been in this business for more than 40-something years.
The insecurity that bedevils the northeast sub-region in recent times has not affected business transactions in the market, as plans are underway to link the market to the global web, in addition to local transactions. Not less than 3,000 people are engaged in the market, beside the revenue that accrues to local and state governments from the over 5,000 bags of assorted grains exported from the state on a daily basis.
We have customers who used to come from Cameroon, Ghana, and other places. They used to come here and buy beans.
With the current dwindling fortunes of petroleum products in the global market, adherence of the people of Gombe State to agriculture is a wake-up call for Nigeria to look inwards and explore agriculture, which was the mainstay of the country's economy before the discovery of oil. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Catholic Knights across Nigeria converged on Akure, Ondo State to rub minds on some pressing issues. Our correspondent was there.
Bishop Adetoye Shebadejo stressed that the time has come for Christians to lend out their voices in the fight against terrorism for the sustainability of the country. He also attributed corruption, weak leadership, proliferation of arms and ammunition, lack of political will as some of the factors militating against the war against insurgency, adding that the church, especially parents, should adopt the old-time progressive inculcation of religious values into their children.
Spent many years trying to build a reintegrated nation. We shouldn't let it all go up in flames because of our future, because of our present.
The governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, represented by the Commissioner for Women Affairs, Dr. Yemi Mahmood Fasominu, encouraged the church to continue to play its roles by maintaining peace, harmony and stability, especially as the general elections approach. Some of the religious leaders urged the Order of the Knights of St. Mulumba to fight Boko Haram with prayers and also render help to those who have been displaced due to the insurgency.
Christians should not take part in it. Should be free from violence. Then to tackle this, our first weapon really is prayer.
Can do better and build a nation that we can be proud of for ourselves.
Participants bore their minds on the lessons learned in the course of the lecture.
We should eschew or expose corruption in politics, in public life.
If we don't have a good family, if we don't have families founded on good, solid moral values, then the country is in big troubles.
Participants were drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
The Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and the Jama'atu Nasirul Islam JNI in Akwanga, Nasarawa State have denounced politicians who incite their supporters to violence under the cover of religion. The two bodies made this known at a one-day interactive forum on peaceful coexistence and security consciousness organized by the National Orientation Agency. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, represented by the agency's Director of Special Duties, Mrs. Ngozi Ekioba, was emphatic that the current security challenges are not a reflection of Nigeria. Hence, it is imperative for Nigerians to be more security conscious, especially as the 2015 general election approaches.
Which such is lacking. The elites must play a lead role in the efforts to build inter- and intra-community trust.
CAN chairman in Akwanga, Reverend Armstrong Ajayi, and JNI Secretary Malam Nasidi Loko enjoined adherents of both religion not to be used by selfish politicians. Activities at the Garki district of the FCT was disrupted following an incident of alleged ritual murder involving 2 gay friends at Hotel Kama Kama, who visited the hotel at the center of the controversy, tells us his findings.
2 facts are easily established on arrival at the scene. Murder was committed here. The 2 persons involved, that is the victim and the suspects, are men. Were they lovers? That remains to be established. Both men had shared a room in this hotel, from which witnesses record erotic noise emanated. They were also said to move about with each other. It was alleged that when one attempted to leave without the other, that suspicion arose. Further investigation revealed a mutilated and lifeless body of one of the partners.
They came here, they pray. After they pray, they enter the Gloriana Hotel. For the past 10 minutes, one of them he did.
They were together, then walk together, and then pray here together with him. Here. Yes, then pray here together. The person that was killed asked for water while the other one is at the back there waiting for him.
I live here and I always come home early, so I wouldn't know.
The police is aware and confirms the incident.
The deceased, from the report we got, happens to be a homosexual. He was a guest in that hotel. The name of the hotel is Gloriana Hotel. Security on guard, who now forced their way into the guest room and now met the 2 men naked. The deceased, who happened to be the guest, was lying down on the floor naked with blood coming out from around his head.
All attempts to speak to the hotel operatives prove abortive. Meanwhile, further investigation is ongoing into the matter with a view to getting to the bottom of the unfortunate incident and arraigning the culprit in court. In Abuja, Kama Kama, NTA News.
And talking sports, Akwa Ibom faithful win Unity Cup Unujo after 90 days of competition as Cristiano Ronaldo sets new hat-trick record in Spain. Amanzi Marcus has this and more on Sports Update.
The Akwa Ibom state government has promised to ensure that its huge investment in sports facilities is utilized for the good of athletes even beyond the state. Former Secretary to the Akwa Ibom state government, Udom Emmanuel, and Special Advisor to the Governor on Technical Matters, Etido Inyang, who spoke at the end of a 3-month Gospel Apabio Unity football competition at the old Uyo Stadium, commended the organizers for fishing out raw talents and promoting unity. Correspondent Imo Etimudo reports that 68 youth football teams competed with Akwa Ibom faithful football team, defeating Gospel Apabio volunteers by a lone goal to emerge champions. Athletes to represent Nasarawa State at the 19th National Sports Festival in Calabar, Cross River State, will soon be called to camp. Supervising Commissioner of the Sports Ministry, Emmanuel Yaji, said they are working towards passing the 19th position and at the 18th National Sports Festival in Lagos, where Nasarawa won 3 gold, 3 silver and 1 bronze medal.
And the governor is willing to make funds available and all the facilities available for our own athletes.
Cristiano Ronaldo weekend eclipsed the hat-trick records of legendary player Alfredo Di Stefano of Madrid and Telma Zara of Atletico Bilbao as he scored his 23rd hat-trick in Real Madrid's 3-0 victory over Celta de Vigo. Ronaldo equally scored his 200th goal in the encounter in 178 matches he has so far played for Real Madrid from the year 2009. In a related development, Frank Ribery scored his 100th goal for Bayern Munich in their 1-0 defeat of Bayer Leverkusen in his 287th game for the club in the German Bundesliga.
Rafinha, a wicked chip, and it's in the back of the net, and it's the mercurial Frenchman, Frank Ribery.
With Sports News Updates, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
It is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. We thank you for watching Panorama. There will be more reports for you at 4 p.m. nationwide on our network service. Good afternoon, and you have the best of the week.